welcome to Yoga to Transform. I'm Christina, and thanks for joining me today. So today we are going to be jumping into the final of our chakra series, which is the seventh chakra, Sahasrara, which is the thousand-fold lotus that sits at the top of the head. And it's linked to that ability for us to achieve transcendence and immanence. This ability to, once we've moved our way up through the Sushumna Nadi and all the chakras and really found that ability for everything to come into alignment and the movement of prana, or the vital life force, to move freely through us, we get to the final place, which is up here at the crown of the head, where we begin to tap into our ability to come to know consciousness, come to know our place in the world, and come to understand the reality of oneness and how everything is interconnected. So it's, and when we reach this chakra, we're reaching a place of transcendence and immanence. And quite often the term enlightenment is used when we talk about this chakra in terms of the fact that we are achieving the place where we are allowing the light to come in, to see things clearly and to fully experience life. That's from a tantric perspective, because from our perspective, what we're believing is that we're not trying to escape living, that this body is a vehicle just as much as anything else is to our spiritual awakening and our spiritual knowing. So we embrace the senses and we embrace the sensations of our body, and we use the world around us to find the divine within and the divine without. So Sahasrara, the thousandfold petal and lotus. Like I said, we have transcendence and immanence. I'm just using as a reference The Wheels of Life by Anna Dear Judith. And so I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit. So transcendence is the bringing us beyond our limitations. So when we reach a place of transcendence, or even a moment of transcendence, there's this awareness that we're not bound by space and time, we're not bound by the physical limitations, we're not bound by the structures and the thinking and the beliefs that we've held inside of us, and we move beyond the limitations into the vastness of opportunity. So this transcendence gives us the opportunity to become the witness to the mind. And it's the mind that creates our life, right? It's the mind and our thinking and our beliefs that create our thinking that are our first creation. So this I think I've said it many times before, but this flow of energy up and down the Sushumna Nadi and through these energy points of the chakras is a flow of liberation as we move up, or transcendence, and it's a flow of manifestation as we move down, and both are important. We need to ground the energy just as much as we need to open it up. But as you move through the flow of manifestation, there's this awareness that we're manifesting life as we see it, not as it is. So the practice of meditation and the process of enlightenment, because it's not a point that you arrive at, and it's not a thing, it's a process and a practice, is to sit quietly with your thoughts and see them for what they are, and even maybe follow them to dive deep into pulling them apart, and also sometimes even tracking them back to their origin and learning that we all come from the same origin. So there's this one, like breathing past the limitations of our own mind and our own thinking, so that we can move into a life that we enjoy. So that's the transcendence. It's just liberating us from the traps of our illusions and our beliefs and our thinkings and all the limitations. So it's kind of moving us out of that ego and into the big S self, where we can move from this place of greater knowing and greater understanding and greater freedom and compassion. And then, as I said, the descending current is that current of immanence, and that is also, like I said, that awareness that the divine is within, and we turn within to really connect with that intelligence and illumination and inspiration and connection that is us manifested as divinity. So there's divinity without, there's divinity all around, and we allow it to come in, and we allow ourselves and our own divinity to just plug back into the source. I guess that's the best way we can see it. And that self-knowledge is knowing that transcendence and immanence are one and the same. I really wanted to just point out that while the liberating current brings us liberation, or mukti, it's the descending current that brings enjoyment, that manifestation, that living a full life, and that's called bhakti. And this is a translation from Arthur Avalon's Serpent Power, just a translation of a Tantric text on the chakras, which says one of the cardinal principles of the Shakti Tantra is to secure by its sadhana, sadhana means spiritual practice, both liberation and enjoyment. This is possible by the identification of the self when in enjoyment with the soul of the world. So for this merging of the self and the soul of the world coming together. Alright, so that was an important thing that I didn't want to miss out on. And now I just wanted, because what we are going to do is a quick 5-minute meditation. I want you to know that the meditation has scientifically proven results. So it synchronizes the back and the front of the brain, so that frontal lobe and then the more limbic lobe, which is where the reactivity and the we call it the amygdala attacks come from, right? So it synchronizes the brain, brings those two parts of the brain together, as well as the two hemispheres together, and that we move into a deeper state of brainwave when we're meditating. And if you can do it 20 minutes a day or build up to 20 minutes a day, then you have beautiful effects even during stressful times. So your oxygen intake decreases, your heart rate decreases, blood pressure lowers, and you can enter a deep state of rest when meditating, and far deeper than that which occurs when you're sleeping. And this obviously allows for greater alertness and waking. And then the other thing is that there was something else. I think, oh, I've gone too far, that's fine. And then you get a general feeling of relaxation, inner peace, and increased well-being. And meditators have also been found to improve academic performance, increased job satisfaction and production, and decreased drug use. And they have faster reaction times. So, and actually I'm a living proof of that one. I was like, wow, I've got fast reaction times. Enlightenment, and like I said, enlightenment is a process, and the process from the Tantric perspective that we teach is that everything is a vehicle for you to achieve enlightenment, but definitely meditation and learning to sit with your attention anchored within, and we like to bring our attention into the heart, the spiritual heart just behind the sternum. And allow ourselves to find that immanence, the divinity within and the transcendence, the divinity without, and bring them together. Alrighty, so taking a comfortable seat. Now I am sitting on a blanket, and I also have a bolster behind me. It's a great trick in terms of putting the bolster against the wall, then bringing your seat bones right up against the wall and your shoulders against the bolster. It really helps with supporting. You can spread your toes and then just take your tops of your thighs back and apart. If you don't have a bolster, maybe some good solid bamboo pillows, they're quite good. Otherwise you can sit on a chair, you don't need to be sitting cross-legged. And gently just place your hands on your thighs and close your eyes. So begin to draw your senses within. As you take this deep breath in, feel the chest rise and see if you can bring your attention to your sternum bone. Notice how that lifts with the inhalation, and then exhale, drop it. And feel your seat bones anchoring into the mat. What I'm going to invite you to do as we sit together for the next 5 minutes is inhale through the perineum, because we've journeyed up through the chakras. Inhale through the perineum, and even just gently lift the perineum as you inhale, and draw the breath all the way up through the midline, through that central spinal column, out through the crown of your head. And then exhale down through the crown of your head. You can release the perineum all the way down through the spinal column. Back out and just feel your seat bones get a little bit heavier on the mat. Inhale, lifting the perineum, breathe all the way up through the spinal column. Out through the crown of your head, and then exhale, breathing down through the spinal column, down through the crown chakra, down the spinal column. Releasing the perineum, anchoring into the mat. Just focus on that flow of breath. encourage you to just take 5 minutes twice a day if you can to introduce a meditation practice into your broader yoga practice. And when you first start meditating, you might say, I think too much and my thoughts are all over the place. And that's okay because we have busy minds, and the practice of meditation helps you clear your minds and clear the thinking. It's quite surprising for me how little I think now in my meditation practice. So one of the things that you can do is allow the thoughts to just drift past like a cloud in the sky, or you can follow the thought like I said earlier and just see where it started. Just ask yourself, where did this thought come from? And then just keep drawing back until you find the origin of the thought. And then the other thing is to potentially journal anything that may have come up, and ask yourselves, because the practice of meditation teaches you to ask better and different questions. So as you journal, which is just basically writing down without much thinking, whatever is in your system, in your heart, in your mind, you were getting that thinking out of your head and onto the paper. Or the final opportunity is just to focus on repeating a word. And as soon as you notice that you've moved away from that word, you can just return to the word and use that as a centering point of focus. Well, I wish you all the best in your journey towards a process of enlightenment, in your journey towards finding transcendence, that place of no limitations, and immanence, that knowing that divinity is within you. I wish you all the best in your journey, and can't wait to have you join us for another Thankful Thursday. If you liked this Thankful Thursday, please remember to like, subscribe and share, and I will see you next time.